North Dakota currently sits at 38th as a state for voter turnout, with just over half our eligible voters turning in a ballot in 2020. With the primary and general election inching closer, KX News' Kiara Brown talked with some voters to see if the lack of voting is expected to continue this year, or if people are getting more enthusiastic for candidates this time around as we lead local.
I don't trust any of the politicians.
That's a common thought process among young voters in our state. And the facts are in the numbers, with only 62% of eligible North Dakotans casting their ballot during the 2020 presidential election, and even fewer voters turning out during the 2022 general election at 42%. Officials say most of the people who aren't voting are in one particular age group.
When I pulled the information, I kind of looked at like 60 and older. They usually in the last 4 elections we've had have accounted for at least half of the voters. So 60 and older. Then I looked kind of from 40 to 59. That was probably about half of what the over 60 was. And then the under 40 is looking more like between 10 and 15% in elections.
Some of the ill will toward this upcoming election has to do with President Joe Biden and Donald Trump's rematch and the state of the country right now.
I'm disappointed that we just have really a false choice with the two-party system. I think we need to evolve to a more modernized system that meet the needs of the times.
But not every voter feels that way. 21-year-old Matthew Simonson says he voted for Trump last election and plans on doing it again. And he feels strongly about young voters heading to the polls this time around.
I think we're the future. I mean, we're going to continue to get old. I mean, as older people get, they're not going to be continuing to vote. So it's very important for us to get out there and actually go vote in person and continue to vote. It's what makes America great. And I mean, it's what we need to keep doing.
Voters have 190 days to make a decision on their general election ballot. But Hammond says with just 43 days to go until the primary, it shouldn't be overlooked.
Primary, though, to me is important. It's got your city and your school races on them. They won't be on the November ballot. So, and in my mind, those are like your real local races that change a lot of things in your life.
Officials say their best advice to voters is to do your research before showing up on June 11th, because that ballot will have a lot of candidates to choose from. They also say they plan on seeing some restored enthusiasm at the polls in June and in November. In Minot, Kiara Brown, KX News.
There could be up to 46 positions you will be voting for on your June 11th primary ballot, as your local election headquarters will keep you up to date with all of the candidates. Right now, you can read more about all of them on our website.